Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mountaineer Sports Insider Podcast. This is Luke Blain alongside Tannor Lambert. Not quite alongside him today. This is the first time we're doing this remote, so sorry if there's any issues with that. How you doing, Tanner?
Oh, I'm great. The weather in Fairbanks, Luke, let me tell you, it's absolutely fantastic. A
yeah, I'm
very warm,
yeah, I'm
very
letting
warm
him
time up here in Alaska.
yeah, I'm letting him use my vacation home right now. So
Oh God, that's good. That's good.
that might be the greatest running joke we'll ever come up with.
Yeah, I don't know. What you've done with the place is absolutely
Yeah.
astounding. I know that you have the polar bear rug that you got done
Yes,
taxidermy up.
exactly.
It's fantastic as you walk into
I,
into the big open foyer,
I
right?
I wrestled it and killed it with my bare hands. Then I
Oh
That's
man,
just the
that's
raw
good.
skin
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Or
sure. It's great.
kind of feel weird making that joke. I don't know if polar bears are endangered or not. Are they?
No, I
Hopefully
don't.
not.
Did you know that polar bears have black skin and white fur though?
Oh wow. Do you also know they
Yeah.
enjoy a good Coca-Cola?
Right. Oh yeah, I did know that. They make them up there with Santa Claus.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. All right. So we just had a pretty eventful week in Mountaineer sports. Last weekend was a little bit rough across the board, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's it. Well, I don't know if I quite agree with you there. The West Virginia women's basketball team did get the upset. They beat Iowa State at home on Saturday in a
That's
great
true.
effort. But other than that, I guess I could get there with you maybe. The men's basketball team, obviously, on Saturday down in Austin was not able to do what many Mountaineer faithful were hoping. And then Monday night in Waco against Baylor kind of went a little bit similar, although not quite as bad in the final score margin. But that women's basketball win over Iowa State, I think that felt pretty good for the women. And I called that game right on U92 with Tanner Mounts, and they were very, very good in that game. And they made a lot of things happen, which was really nice to see after a 3-game losing skid coming into that one, to be able to bounce back in the way they did against Iowa State, 73 to 60. That was a good win, in my opinion. They were able to handle business at home, and that's the second ranked win they have at home this season. They've defended the Coliseum very well this season in the first year under Coach P, and they're continuing to come on strong here at the end of the season now. Overall, that got them back to 6-6 in the conference, and then they're able to win against Kansas at home in a very, very tight one on Wednesday night. So now they're 7-6 in the conference, 16-8 overall, but at home 11-2. That's no joke, Luke.
Yes, absolutely. And want to hang on and talk about that game too with the win over Kansas. What a game. I mean, 62-60 final. Mountaineers come into the game without Jayla Hemingway, Kylie Blackston, and they still find a way to pull it through. Players like Kaya Watson stepped in. Isis Bay had a pretty good night.
Yeah, and Isis Bay is a player that some of us over on the sports staff at U92 have been calling to get more minutes. She plays 28 minutes in the game against Kansas there on Wednesday. She's 5 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 4 at the free throw line with 7 boards and 13 points. I'm going to take that every day of the week from her. That's an awesome effort out of the redshirt sophomore, and she's a physical presence at 6'3" down underneath. That is definitely going to be a matchup issue when she's in the game, and I think we're going to start to see even more of her. We know Messiah Hunter also went down in that game, unfortunately. So this Mountaineer team is becoming a little bit injured here at the end of the year. Not the time you will see injuries whatsoever. If there ever is a time, it's definitely not now, as you're starting to get to the end of the season here, and then you're going to go to Kansas City into the Big 12 Conference Tournament. You don't want injuries right now. However, we know that the guards and JJ and Maddie are both very good, Danny Nichols and Sarah Bates as well. And then you're right, Kaya Watson, she has had an awesome stretch of games here, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc against Kansas on Wednesday. She added 14 herself. Maddie had 17. JJ had 6. So JJ had an off night, and they're still able to win. And that's something they haven't been able to do a lot during this season, right? They've had to rely on JJ and Maddie, and then maybe one player off the bench is able to come in, or one of the other starters is able to come in and add 10 or 12. We've seen Jayla Hemingway do that quite a few times. But now you're not going to have that option for the foreseeable future with Jayla Hemingway being hurt, and then Kylie Blackston as well. So now you're going to look for other areas to spread the ball around and try to get points elsewhere. 62 points is not the best offensive output, but if you hold the other team to 60 and you're able to win, then it doesn't matter, right, Luke?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's a good place to be, is holding them to 60. I think that puts you in a good spot to, get the offense going. If you're giving up 70, 80 points, you put yourself in a much harder position because you have to keep up with that. And we've seen at times this Mountaineer team just fails to score for pretty significant stretches in the game. And
well, it happened in that game against Kansas too. I mean, the final 5 minutes, they really didn't have a field goal that they made. They had to just hang on and try to hold out, and they did. And really quick, speaking of that defense allowing 60, that's what they allow this Iowa State team to come in and do, who was scoring the most in the league at the time. And they allowed them to just 60 as well. So 2 straight opponents held to 60, and that leads to 2 straight wins. And so if they're going to be able to continue to do that, then I don't see why this team can't continue to win games, especially once they get into this postseason here.
Yes, exactly. And you look at the stats at the end of the game. So Quinterly only had 6.
Right.
And, she's done more than enough to help this Mountaineer team during the season. But I think that's something we've talked about, is whenever Smith and Quinterly. Smith, by the way, hit several milestones in that game. I can touch on that in a second. But we've always talked about it. Whenever Quinterly and Smith aren't clicking, this team usually struggles. Mm-hmm. And I think this game could be a real turning point for them, because they finally had other players step up and really help the team out. Kaya Watson, Isis Bay, both 13 from Bay, 14 from Watson. That's huge. I mean, I think that is just so important to this team's development, is that we finally have other players stepping in whenever Quinterly or Smith didn't have an off night at all. She finished with 17. So
5 of 10 from beyond the arc too. So
yes,
a lot
absolutely.
of those coming from beyond the 3-point line.
Yes, absolutely. And Smith in that game, she hit career milestones of 300 career rebounds, 400 career made field goals, 500 career assists, and it was her 130th start. So, have a night, Maddie Smith.
Just a regular night for Maddie.
Yeah. She is.
No, that's really awesome to see. Really quick, though, too, about Kaya and Isis. Between the two, they added 13 boards. So that's not bad either. Half the team's rebounds between the 2 players there, who are going to see a lot of minutes down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the men really quickly. Not great, Luke.
No.
Not what you wanted to
see. Really
see.
rough weekend.
Yeah. In Austin, I mean, that game takes 2 minutes to talk about with what happened.
Yeah.
It was one where they could have added a really nice resume win, right? And they just weren't able to. It was a tough game. Got behind early, was not able to get back into it whatsoever. And, if you look at it from an outside perspective, okay, they play Iowa State last week on Wednesday. Then they go to Austin. Then they go to Waco. That's 3 straight top 11 teams they're playing.
Yes.
It's a 94-60 final in Austin. Not good. Not good. There was a lot of turnovers in the game. Lot of things just did not go the Mountaineers' way. Emmett Matthews leads the team with 13 points. It just wasn't enough whatsoever across the board. Eric Stevenson had 1 3-pointer. Just a bad game for this team. And then you look and think maybe they can bounce back against Baylor. They shoot 45%. They shoot 33% from 3, 75% from the free throw line. But it was more, I think, in my opinion, in that game had to do with what Baylor was doing. Cryer had one of the best games I've ever seen individually for a kid in college basketball.
Oh, my gosh. 8 for 11 from 3.
Right, yeah, 8 of 11 from beyond the arc.
That's just
Sometimes you just can't stop a guy because he has a night like that, and that's how college basketball goes. But they had 4 guys over double digits, but 8 of 11 from 3. It's just really weird that sometimes, you see guys have their career nights against West Virginia, night in and night out. And I feel like, sometimes West Virginia is able still to come back out and win that game. But it really, to me, feels like this season, everything has gone even Steven for this men's basketball team in Big 12 play. Obviously, the conference record of 4 of 9 doesn't really show that, but 11-3 at home versus 2-7 on the road kind of does a little bit more.
Yes.
Right? 15-11 overall kind of shows that more so than the other stats do. And so that's kind of where my head is at with this team. I remember last week and maybe the week before too, when we talk about this men's basketball team, we said 3 of 5 to close out the year, puts them at 18 wins. That was my magic number before the year. That's still my magic number to make the tournament, and that's regular season finish. If they can go add 1 or 2 in Kansas City, I think that they're definitely a lock. They're still one of the last 4 in with a bye right now, according to the latest ESPN bracketology. So I get that you can be frustrated with where the team is at right now. However, to me, you cannot change expectations throughout the year based off of the most recent game. I don't think that that's fair. We saw Stevenson light it up 2 or 3 games in a row. He's come way back down to earth, maybe more so than he should be. We'll see if he can bounce back here tomorrow at the Coliseum against Texas Tech. This is a team they've already beaten this season. Then they've got Oklahoma State. You could argue a team they should have already beaten on Monday night, and then they go to Lawrence. So if they can win the 2 home games and then they fall to Kansas, I still think that, okay, this team's going to be a tournament team. That was the goal at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. Don't change expectations.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And I think, I think it helps ease the minds of Mountaineer fans whenever you think about the fact that, almost every other Big 12 team is losing on the road too.
Right.
Kansas State just fell at Oklahoma to,
And this is an Oklahoma team who's, quote-unquote, at the bottom of the league, even though they've beaten the number 2 team in the country by 30 during the Big 12 SEC Challenge.
Yeah. Like, and now that number 2 team is, or at least they were number 1 last week.
Yeah, I know. And then they go on the road and lose to Auburn, a team that West Virginia has beaten. Or no, they beat Auburn. Excuse me, I'm wrong there. I thought they beat Auburn. Alabama did beat Auburn. So it was very tight, though. I forgot. My bad. That's my bad there.
Oh no, you're good.
But no, I agree with you. And again, my stance completely is the fact that you cannot look ahead and look behind at the same time. You can't change expectations from the beginning of the year to now. If this team was undefeated or something, okay, maybe that's a little bit different. But they're right where I expected them to be at this point. You can be frustrated with the fact that, they go on the road and lose by 30 at Texas, but they're still slated to be a tournament team, and you wanted them to be a tournament team at the beginning of the year. Okay, then they're doing what you wanted them to do. Yeah. This is a Big 12 league that theoretically all 10 teams could make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I don't think that that's an overstatement. You said it the other night, Oklahoma just won at home against K-State. They played well lately, other than that night in Morgantown, right? So, yeah. I mean, it's just how good this league is.
Yeah, and 100% honesty, I think that until WVU gets paired against a Big 12 team, I'm not sure I see them losing in the NCAA tournament.
No, I said that too.
Unless they play against like Purdue again, because Purdue is just that good,
Right, but even Purdue at times this season, if you can get Zach Edey into foul trouble, there's no reason you can't beat them, because besides him, that's all they are.
Yes.
And so I think you're right. If they don't have to play a Big 12 team in the first 2 weeks, and even if they do, that's a toss-up then, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Then you could say, oh, this is going to be a team that makes it to the second weekend. And if you can make it to the second weekend, then that's where runs really start. And there's no reason this team can't go on a run then thereafter. Eric Stevenson is one heck of a scorer when he's on. And at neutral site games this season, West Virginia is 2-1. I get that's only a 3-game, sort of prism to look through, but you're going to take it. That one loss is against Purdue, and you had them with a 4-point lead at the 2-minute point left in that game.
Yep.
So I just think that, when you look at it, there's not a reason to really be as pessimistic as some of the Mountaineer fans are. 15-11 in the conference, or 15-11 overall, 4-9 in the conference. You got a ton of home games coming up. If you can win at home like you have been all year, this team's going to make the tournament.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's move on. Tell me about tennis. I know that you were there.
Oh my gosh, last week, I kind of rushed out of here. I was like, gotta hurry it up. I'm gonna go watch tennis, and I saw probably my favorite WVU sporting event I've seen as a student so far. It was so insanely fun. Let me lay it out for you. I've talked to you about tennis rules before. There are 7 overall points you can score in tennis duels, and the Mountaineers found themselves down 3-1, and then they get, their leader of this team right now, Camila Bossi, steps in, wins in a third set tiebreaker. And then redshirt freshman Maya Dodick steps in and really wins, let me pull up the score to make sure, but it wasn't exactly close for her match. She had her way. She had her way during that match. Why am I not seeing her name? Yeah, 6-2, 6-1.
Yeah,
straight sets. So, solid win.
12 points to 4 points. Okay.
Yeah. So the match comes down to 5th-year senior Penny Jay, and she came through and won 6-4, 7-5, and it was such a fun match to watch. Last year, Penny wasn't as a key of a player in their rotation as she is this year, and she has really stepped up. This is the second time this year she has come through in the final match to win and seal the win for the Mountaineers. The other one was whenever the team won 4-3 at Indiana. And I was super impressed with what I've seen from her so far this season and in that match. It was super fun. I took a video of that final point and I put it on Twitter. I just had to have a video of that. And the team, they really rallied around her. They were cheering her on. Because, this is Marshall.
Right. Yeah, it was Marshall.
Marshall University. And you could tell there was an extra level of competitiveness from the herd. And the Mountaineers, it was a little bit of a slow start, like I mentioned, went down 1-3, but they really got it together and they matched that energy and they came out on top. And it was so much fun. So much fun.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad for them.
If you're a tennis fan in Morgantown, we've said this before, kind of talking about women's basketball, but if you're a tennis fan in Morgantown, come watch this team. I know it hasn't been one of WVU's more successful programs in the past, but I really think that they've hit a point where they're seriously improving and they're competing week in and week out, and it is so much fun. As like an average tennis fan, I really, really enjoy getting to go and cover this team.
That's good, and then they follow that up with a dominant performance over the Mount as well. So they go 2-0 on the weekend.
Yep. Yeah, they
Can't
did.
complain there.
Nope, not at all.
The rifle team, Luke, they went over to Lexington, like we said, one of their last regular season matchups. Kentucky was ranked number 4. West Virginia was number 3. This is the third time the teams faced off this year. West Virginia loses for the first time this season. It was close, but I think that this team is really gearing up and getting ready to go for the postseason. This weekend they are at NCAA qualifying in Lexington, Virginia, which is that a typo? Is Lexington, Virginia a place, Luke?
Lexington, Virginia?
I would assume that means Lexington, Kentucky. That's probably a typo.
Maybe, yeah.
Whatever.
I've never heard of Lexington, Virginia.
They're in Lexington, Virginia. If not, they're in Lexington, Kentucky for NCAA qualifying this weekend. I think that's definitely Lexington, Kentucky. The website just might have a typo on it, which is okay. But It was, again, a very tight score. It was 4,734, so 4,734 to 4,726. So it's right there on the edge. Just not able to pull it out against a top 5 team in Kentucky. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, and they were not able to do that. They are 2-1 though against the Wildcats this season, and now they're going to get ready for the off season and this week, or the postseason, excuse me, which starts again this weekend.
Yeah, it was the NCAA qualifiers they have coming up this weekend.
Do what?
NCAA qualifiers.
Right. And it's in Lexington, either Virginia or Kentucky. I feel like Lexington, Virginia does not exist, Luke.
I've never heard of it. I haven't spent too much time in Virginia.
No.
As much as many people may believe.
On the campus of the Wildcats is what I'm assuming.
It's true.
On the mats, the wrestling team, they were able to close out Big 12 play with a win over the Air Force. Tucker Owens of the Air Force was able to beat Colton Drousis of West Virginia in the 125-pound weight class. West Virginia lost both of the 133 and 125-pound weight class, but they were able to pull out some wins in the 141 through 174 weight class, actually through 184 weight class. So they only lost in 4 of them. Some of the winners included Anthony Carmen winning 2-0 at 184, Scott Joel winning 10-2 at 174, Peyton Hall, number 12 in the country, winning 20-7 at the 165-pound weight class. Caleb Dowling defeat Jack Ganos 4-3, so that was a really tight one. And 157, and number 20 in the country, Sam Hilligs, is able to beat Dylan Martinez of the Air Force 5-4 at the 149. Jordan Titus 6-3 wins at the 141-pound weight class. So they're able to close it out with a win there, which is good to see as now they get ready for their postseason on the mats. So that's nice to see, Luke.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the wrestling team's been a little bit on and off. I think they're kind of almost alternating wins and losses. But, I mean, I'm not the biggest wrestling guy. I'm not all that familiar with the sport, so I'm not going to try to commentate more on it than what I'm able to. Yeah, I'm just, I'm just going to put that out there right now. But, Peyton Hall, number 12 in the country, I mean, that's exciting. That's really exciting for this program.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. You got the track and field pulled up, or you want me to read that off as well?
Might be best if you do it. I can pull up the recap from the DA real quick.
That's fine. We're struggling this week. We're not together.
That's true.
So it's a little
the chemistry's a little bit off right now.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you do gymnastics. I'll handle track really quickly, and then I'll talk about the golf team as well. They were at the Marshall Invite. Track, they go to these huge invites, so it's a little harder to kind of see how the team itself finishes up. They're going back up to the Penn State tune-up. They've been at Penn State every weekend, but last weekend when they were at the Marshall Invite, man, I tell you, Happy Valley is one of the crown jewels of the track and field world. No doubt about it. As far as what I was able to get from this, Emily Bryce, who we talked about, had a personal best in the mile, 5:06.67. And that beats her best time from last week, which was 5:08.75. So that's nice to see. Tazana Epps competed in the 800 in Huntington, 2:29.78. That's a new personal best by over 4 seconds. She ran it in a 2:33 at the Penn State Invite tune-up last year on February 18th, which is again this weekend again. So that's good to see. Tez Constantine ran the 200 personal best at 25:35. Olivia Kress and sophomore Gamani Hausch and Sierra Heisley also competed in the 200. Kress had a personal best of 25:97. Haug ran a 27:75, and Heisey, 27:37. So again, they are going to be at Penn State this weekend for another tune-up meet there. But that's nice to see some personal best as the season for track is really starting to kick off now.
Yeah, super exciting. And I mean, they've had success recently. I mean, we saw recently the DMR team broke a school record. So pretty exciting time for the track team. And I mean, you can't talk about the track team without talking about Caitlin McCabe. And I think she's really, she's coming into her own,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
maybe that's not the best verbiage because she's been on the team for a little while, but she's consistently been right there. You look at races, she's always finishing near the front, and I think the Mountaineers are lucky to have her.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You got gymnastics for me now?
Yes, 1 second. So gymnastics went to number 8 Denver. And
they did.
Yes, took a loss. They lost every event except for one, where they tied. Both teams tied at 49.15 on.
Well, okay, Luke, come on now. That's not fair. They lost the meet by about 3 points total. All right.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying it like that. Denver came out on top in all of them. But one.
Yeah.
They tied at 49.15 on the floor. Floor. So let me get that pulled back up.
I did talk to Kiana Lewis of the gymnastics team. We mentioned her last weekend. Reed College girl, so we know her.
Yes.
She stopped by at the U92 The Moose Pledge Drive live in the Mountaineer, which you can still donate to through this weekend, by the way. So if you have not yet, you would like to, go to u92themoose.com/donate to help us out there. We have blown through the goal, over $9,000 raised for U92, which is just awesome. We appreciate it. But I was talking to Kiana, and she, I'm going to paraphrase very, very, very lightly. She just said that the team is in a good headspace, and so that's good to hear. And so you do like to hear that. Obviously, some of the matches haven't turned their way, but it's very early still. Lots of competing left to go for them this season.
Yeah. I think gymnastics is one of those sports that you need a good headspace. I think you need, confidence to do that,
Yeah.
Because
I don't think I could do any of the things they do.
Oh, no. Not at all. I mean, maybe some of it. Take me out to the mat right now. I'll show you a little skill. I'm just kidding.
Okay. What are you gonna do? Roll over?
I don't know.
A
basic somersault.
Can we get Luke Blain on the uneven bars? See what happens.
Oh, I'm sure that would be a sight right there.
Can you just swing from one to the other? I don't know if I could even do that. Just drop from one to the other.
I don't know. You know what we could do? If any of you follow the Mountaineer playbook from the university, our very own Ben Mackey played tennis against one of the girls from the team. Have you seen that, Tanner?
No, I have not seen. I did not know that this was a thing.
Oh,
Ben
you didn't?
Probably hid this from me on purpose.
Oh no, he if you go to the Media Innovation Center, it'll be there.
Okay.
He had his racket. The two were mic'd up, and he went out there and played against Kendall Kovic from the tennis team, and it was a sight.
Did he score 1 point?
I don't know. They don't have the volume on in the Media Inno Center, so.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and watch it online, but I think we could do that, and put me out there with a gymnast.
I think that we should probably set that up.
That would be great.
That would be fun.
We'll do it audio only for the podcast.
I'll go play golf with Sean Kovich and the team over there.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm ready to talk about golf. If you have anything else to add about gymnastics, go ahead.
No, I got nothing else for gymnastics. I think, for going against the number 8 team in the country, I think that, a deficit of that size is something you're...
Yeah, 3 points in the
3
the
points,
end of the
yeah.
day.
I think you're comfortable with that.
No. All right. Well, the golf team, John Kovich's boys, they were down there in Gainesville. The tournament had to be delayed a little bit because of lightning on Saturday. But Westy McCabe, the freshman golfer, posted a top 20 finish, and junior Will Stakel had the lowest third-round score in the entire tournament, so that's not bad. McCabe finished 18th with a 2:14 three-day total. He went 70, 70, 74, 4 over par. That's not bad. Only 7 golfers in the field under par. And then Stakel, he had a 2 under par, 68 in the third round, which was the lowest of the day for a 218 finish, so not bad from him either. Max Green finished with 221, 11 over. Jackson Davenport, 20 over. And then my guy, Trent Tipton from Columbus, Ohio. I played golf with him a couple times. 73, 79, 80, a 232, 22 over, 3-day finish for him. Mountaineers finished tied for 10th place, so that's not bad. The conditions were difficult, said Coach Kovich, really high winds, and they were able to kind of get back into it. You got to remember that golf can't be played up in the north in the winter, so to get down there and play in that's good to see. Luke, if you would like to take a vacation next weekend, how about we go down there with the golf team? They're playing in Dorado, Puerto Rico. You want to go to that?
Man, I'm so jealous of the golf team. Every week they go somewhere that's so much better than here.
I mean, Puerto Rico? Are you kidding me? Can we get some space on the jet there or whatever they're taking over?
Yeah, I know. We'll set up a little commentary table.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do anything. Come on, get me to Puerto Rico. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, we had a day last week where it was 70, but now it's back to like 30
I hear the weather
today.
there's not good.
No, it's... how's the weather where you are?
Thunderstorm watches everywhere. The weather in Alaska is great, Luke.
Oh, yeah. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I heard that it was just pouring rain, so not surprising.
It has been, yeah.
Okay. Well, that sucks,
but
man.
I must say, I don't think we can go through the podcast without addressing the conclusion of the 92ers season yesterday. Coach Lambert.
Is the word I'm going to use.
What is it?
Heartbreaking.
It was. All credit to the opponents. I believe their team name is Will Sue If We Lose. I do like that. No, we had. I got some friends there, so we had a little bit of a crowd. But
I heard that the Moose showed up.
The Moose did show up. Joel Butcher in the.
Whoa! Joel Butcher and the Moose were there together. Wow.
Yeah, that's true. It's like they conjoined into one, like the Power Rangers, you know?
No, I don't, but yes, sure.
You never watched Power Rangers?
No.
Never as a kid?
No.
Really?
Isn't the green guy the bad one or something? I don't remember.
The green, they're all good.
Oh, see, yeah, that's how much I know. I thought the green one turned on everybody or something.
I don't know. Maybe he did. I wasn't all that familiar with it. I just thought it.
I
just thought it was.
Doing this on the...
What is it?
What?
I just thought it was cool. They had colorful costumes and they fought bad guys.
Okay.
I was content with that. I wasn't much into the lore of Power Rangers.
Okay, fair enough. What I was going to say was let's knock out this weekend preview in the same episode. I know you got to get to class, and I'm going to have to try to change some of the volume throughout this in post-production here today, as it is Friday, February 17th, 12 noon in Morgantown, 8 a.m. here in Alaska. Luke, lots of great opportunities this weekend for every team, I would say, for the most part. And we also have the start to baseball, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, they face off in 3 games against at Georgia Southern, right? I believe. Yep. I don't have it pulled up right now, but that's what I remember it being.
Yep, they start against Georgia Southern here tonight at 6:30 p.m. It'll be first pitch out there on the East Coast. Track and field, we mentioned, is at the Penn State Tune-Up Invite. The wrestling team is home against Clarion. Rifle is at NCAA qualifying. Men's basketball is home against Tech tomorrow, I guess I should say, at the Coliseum. They're also home on Monday as they host the Cowboys of Oklahoma State.
Yes, I think that these are 2 games that you're happy to be playing at home after last weekend. I think they have a really good chance to win both of those. I mean, you lose by, was it 1 point at Oklahoma State? It was close.
I think it was. It was a game where they missed 50 free throws or something.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, that's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
That was very early on in Big 12 play when the free throws were the biggest problem the team faced.
Yeah. And tomorrow, you've already beaten Texas Tech at Tech, you know. So right. I think that you feel comfortable coming into tomorrow. Not complacent. You got to, come through and you got to win. But I think that gives you some more confidence coming into this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you traveling to Radford by chance for tennis this weekend? That's for tennis.
I wish I was, honestly, because they, both of them are, I believe, at Virginia Tech. I think Radford is coming to Tech to play WVU.
Right, because they play Tech as well. Okay.
Yeah, they play Virginia Tech on Sunday at 1 p.m. Those are two very winnable matches. I'm not all that familiar with Virginia Tech's team, but they have a live stream. That's a win right there. That is a win. I'll try to watch as much of that as I can. I'm a big tennis guy, in case nobody's noticed. But yeah, super fun watching the tennis team.
There you go. Wrestling is at Lock Haven. Gymnastics is hosting Bowling Green. Again, baseball has the series all weekend against Georgia Southern. The women's basketball team is going down to play Texas and Austin, and that's a Texas team that just lost to the Iowa State team that West Virginia beat. So that's a win right there without even playing. Baseball will also play Maryland this weekend. And then men's and women's swim are at Big 12 championships. That's also down in Austin at what I think is probably close to, if not the best pool in the country. Mm-hmm. Absolutely crazy what they did down there at the Aquatic Center in Austin.
Yeah.
So a big weekend of events.
Yeah, super exciting. It's always fun whenever you get into championship time for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
We're approaching that.
No, you sound tired, man. You okay?
No, I ran a lot yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I got to be honest. I wasn't much help out there. If I have to put it bluntly, I think I shot about 5 or 6 threes. None of them fell.
Oh man.
I wasn't getting it done.
So wait. What you're telling me is that radio U92 and Daily Athenaeum contributor Jonathan Hamilton finishes with more threes on the season than you do.
Yeah. Yes.
What a brutal way to look at that.
That is the case. And I've been talking to the guys. We want to get in and put in work in the off season. I think we have some real potential.
Hey, listen, maybe we'll go talk to Coach P and Coach Hugs and see if we can get some time in the practice facility.
I like it. Could you imagine, pulling up to the rec and we have Coach P there, leading the team?
What, so I'm out of a job now?
I mean, if it's between you and Don Plitzowite, I'm sorry, Tanner. But I think we know the direction we have to go there.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is, man.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Hey, she's really turned around this women's basketball team. I believe she could turn around the 92ers too.
Turn around. I mean, yeah.
We're 0-3, Tanner. We need a turnaround.
Strong turn too. I mean, they went 15-15 last year. The year before, they made an NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
They just kind of are bettering the team. As you can hear, the pool here in Alaska is alive with full people. Sorry about that.
Are you at a pool right now?
Yeah, I'm outside at the pool.
Oh, okay.
I mean, come on, it's 18 degrees here in Fairbanks.
That's true. Yeah, you got
warm enough to get outside and do the polar plunge.
Sit out, have a Coke with a polar bear, right?
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. All right, man. Well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode of the Mountaineer Sports Insider. We, again, apologize for any of the technical issues that you guys face out there as listeners. We greatly appreciate all of you for subscribing to the Mountaineer Sports Insider newsletter. Oh, really quickly, too, Joe Mazzulla, new head coach of the Celtics full-time. That's awesome to see for Mountaineers in the pros, Luke. But, again, really circling back now to the Mountaineer Sports Insider, we've got a great listenership. We appreciate it. It seems that we have multiple dozens and dozens of you that come back week after week. We've seen some numbers as far as the newsletter goes, and they're huge. We love to see it. We thank you. This was an experiment that we're going to continue to do and continue to evolve with and grow as we turn on here, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is a lot of fun. Happy with what we're getting to do here. Get coverage in of our fellow student athletes, especially smaller sports. That's something I really enjoy. Those non-football, basketball. Get in there and show those students some love and talk about their accomplishments too. So this is a great opportunity.
It's important.
Yes.
Because it's a quote-unquote non-revenue sport doesn't mean it doesn't matter, because they matter to us.
Yes.
And we hope they matter to you, and that we can grow your love for them as well, because they're wearing gold and blue too.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you next week, Luke. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Mountaineer Sports Insider and Weekend Preview. That'll do it for us.
All right.